So you've just seen different historical art and a bit of contemporary art, both relating to archery. See, the problem here is that we are archers and we search historical art for evidence of how did they shoot in the past. The problem with that is that the people who created this art were not archers. They were not archers, they were simply artists commissioned to tell a story about whoever did the paying, whoever paid them to do it, told them to do something. So if you view the Bayeux tapestry, the king who ordered the tapestry is twice as large as the other ones. We have fabled creatures in there as well, and we have trees that don't look like trees, but they are there, and they do not look like trees. So everything about that is off, and we know it's off if you just look at it and say, well, here's the fabled creature, that does not exist. We know that it does not exist. But when it comes to archery, we as archers look at evidence. So if you look at this picture at the Bayeux tapestry, we have people shooting bows, completely stiff legs. The bows are much, much, much shorter in relation to the human that we know that they are, because we found them in graves. We found them at the Mary Rose. We found historical bows that date back to this time. But they were at least as long as a man, but these are not. So we have a great number of discussions online regarding the Vikings shoot by drawing to the chest. Why would they? Why would they draw to the chest? It's counterproductive. As a human, you want to sight, you want to aim, you want to use the big brain that we got to create a repeatable pattern. So why would you choose not to draw to here, or somewhere remotely in the vicinity of your face? Why would you draw to the chest? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense biomechanically, because down here you have limited range of motion. Up here is the full range of motion, so you could draw to the shoulder or whatever, but we want to sight. We have a stick right in our face, so we want to use that to aim. But somehow we as humans look at this particular piece of historical art and say, well, this is evidence that Vikings or people in the Middle Ages, Viking times, whatever, shot by drawing to the chest with bows half as long as a human. We know that's not true. And they used a pinch grip because you can see that clearly in the art. Well, I'm sorry, but everything anatomically about this person is wrong. Stiff legs, no joints, arms and legs are completely distorted, as well as all these other parts of art show people contorted in all different sorts of ways, but we take it as evidence. When was the last time your lower body and your upper body were facing the completely opposite direction while you were shooting? And your feet away? It doesn't happen. But we want to find that evidence because we want to tap into it. We want to be historically correct. We want to set ourselves apart from the other archers out there. Here, there, everywhere. We want to set ourselves apart. We want to be special. It's part of being human. At the same time, we want other people to be impressed by us. It's a simple. It's a need. We need some kind of stimulus. We need other people to like us. We need our community to be impressed with us at some point, depending on what kind of personality you are. But the key here is, here we have a piece of modern art, and every single archer out there would say, this is wrong. The bow's wrong the other way around, she's been way too much backwards, everything is wrong. We know it's wrong, but when we look at historical art, we say, well, that's evidence. Why is this one and this one different? It's because we want the historical part to be accurate. We want it to be accurate, even though we know it's wrong. Now here we have a picture of a Greek vase. The bow is strung the wrong way around. The artist doesn't know that. He sees a bow unstrung, and he depicts it on a vase, and he says, well, this is correct. So we have people out there trying to argue that this bow here is correctly strung, and there was just a completely radical design. Well, this one we know is wrong. Well, in 1,000 years, or 2,000 or 3,000 years, this one might be correct. Perceived correct because, well, it's historical art, right? And the funny thing is, we know that this is wrong, and every single person on Earth has, almost, has access to the internet. So all the information is available. You can simply Google it, and a picture of a correctly strung bow or a description of how to string a bow comes up. It takes a split second. But we know this is wrong, and we do not consider it to be evidence. But this one is, because it's old. So in past times, when art was not specifically detailed, and they didn't have the same possibilities to make art, well, they made this because that's what they could make, but we perceive it to be evidence. Do we not? Well, I think this is bullshit, and I think that every single archer who knows anything about shooting bows would say, well, this is crap. Why would you use this as evidence? Why would you use this as evidence and not this one? Or the other way around? It's simply wrong because the artist, in this case a photographer, knows shit about archery. Here we have a potter making a potter, or ladies making this Bayeux tapestry years after the actual event actually took place, but this is correct. You want it to be correct, but it's not. It's simply not correct. And if you are an archer, you know that these ones, all the ones that I've shown you, is wrong. We even have this one by AI. We know it's wrong because it's all the way wrong. But when we view it from something that's 1,000 years old or more, then it has to be correct, right? Right? Why? Simply why? I simply cannot fathom why we even have a discussion. Well, not specifically here, but perhaps we do. I'm excited to see what you're going to write in the comment section. But we have discussions on the internet whether this is accurate, even though every single archer knows this is not how you shoot a bow. This is not how a bow looks. I rest my case. Don't grasp for things that are not there. This is art. This is storytelling. It's not evidence. It simply isn't. And I don't think you can find a reasonable argument to say that it is. If you have one, please write it because I'm excited to hear it. If you can find something. So yeah. Did I step on your toes? I'm not sorry. In this case, I'm not sorry because this is actually, I think it's hilarious and it's a bit childish and pathetic, really. So historical art, it's not fact. It's not evidence of anything other than somebody made a story, somebody made a piece of art, somebody made an object to stand on the mantle and be pretty. It's not evidence. So, well, fire away in the comment section. See ya.